The 2022 NFL season has been super unpredictable, so I, the great wizard of the NFL, will try to predict the unpredictable NFL. The NFL is a week-by-week league, meaning anyone can win any week. Even me, except you, unless you had me, because I'm a wizard. But now I will be diving into my divisional round predictions for the 2022 NFL season. Jaguars and Chiefs at 4:30 on Saturday, and the Eagles-Giants at 8:15 on Saturday. I'm going to just start with the Jags and Chiefs here. The Jags had a crazy upset last week, led by Doug Peterson and Goldilocks himself. And the Chiefs are coming straight off the bye week, being the number 1 seed. Now, Patrick Mahomes is going to prove to be a really tough opponent against Doug and Goldilocks. He has been playing at an MVP level all season. He has a mismatch against this Jacksonville defense that could see him slice his way up the field. The Jags allowed an NFL high 6.8 yards per attempt against throws, coming out in under 2.5 seconds. But Mahomes led the NFL in EPA per drop with under 2.5 seconds. So mathematically and statistically, the Jags are screwed. If the Jags want to pull off the upset, they're going to have to find a way to contain Mahomes. Back when these teams met in Week 10, the Chiefs were able to beat the Jaguars by 10 and were even up 20 at halftime. I'm sure the NFL has their scriptwriters writing an extreme overtime clutch game though. Another thing we are getting this game is Andy Reid versus Doug Peterson, which will be awesome to see in the divisional. Although if I was writing the NFL scripts, I would have wrote it better personally. Trevor Lawrence has to have a brilliant first half after throwing 4 interceptions last week. But in general, I don't think the Jaguars are beating the Chiefs. I don't see it happening. I can't imagine it. But maybe it'll be close, the script. Next, Eagles versus Giants. And for starters, I am an Eagles fan. So if I seemed biased, I am. Overall, the Eagles are one of the best teams in football. I don't know if they're beating the Chiefs, but the Giants, I'm not overly confident, but I am confident we can beat them. And we have twice this season, which is scary because it's hard for NFL teams to beat the same team 3 times in a season. I have faith in Jalen Hurts, though. I think he is going to go out there and get it done. Overall, the Eagles have been the better team so far this year. Jalen Hurts is better than Daniel Jones. We have the better defense and offense. But this is the NFL, and anything can happen, which is quite unfortunate because on paper, we're the better team. When the two teams have played this year, the Giants have been outscored 70-38. Damn, what y'all gotta say about that one? But the Eagles have been on a bad game run. We have had 3 bad games in a row. And I don't know if I can trust. The Giants have the NFC's best running back in Saquon Barkley, and if they use him correctly, it'll be a close game. Giants players, defensive line, Leonard Williams, cornerback, Adoree Jackson, and safety Xavier McKinney, who all could have a huge impact this week. They were all out in the first Eagles-Giants matchup, so they could be a game changer. The last 3 times the Giants have won their opening round playoff game, they've ended up in the Super Bowl, which is again scary, but I have to go with the Eagles. Next, we have the Sunday games, Bengals versus Bills at 3 and the Cowboys 49ers at 6:30. Firstly, the Bengals versus Bills, or Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen, an amazing matchup. Always nice to see 2 good quarterbacks battle. This game originally was supposed to happen in Week 17, but obviously was canceled. The thing about that, though, this is a game held in Buffalo. So if the Bengals won the game in Week 17, the game would actually be in Cincinnati, which could end up being the difference in the end. Neither team looked great last week against backup quarterbacks and both struggled to advance. I think both will play better here, though. This should be a shootout with both quarterbacks having big days, and it's probably the game of the weekend. It's the first playoff matchup between 2 teams that are on winning streaks of at least 8 games since the 2016 AFC Championship game. In the end, I think it's the Bills who will win it, but it'll be close. Lastly, Cowboys and 49ers. This game for me is really up in the air. This is the most up in the air game, actually. This game could go either way in my eyes. Since Week 7, these have been the 2 highest scoring teams in the NFL, and I think Christian McCaffrey will have a huge game this week, which could end up making this game an offensive shootout. Another wonderful coaching matchup here, Kyle Shanahan's offense going up against Dan Quinn's defense. Both on the crumbling Falcons, by the way. The 49ers have been one of the best teams in the NFL this season, but I think that they could very well be fraud. But the thing about that is the Cowboys could be frauds too. We have one fraud fighting another fraud to see who the bigger fraud is. The 49ers haven't played anyone good besides the Chiefs, who they lost to. I don't feel confident picking them to win. But the Cowboys haven't had a very difficult schedule either, besides playing the Eagles, who they went 1-1 against. So I don't feel confident that they could beat the 49ers either. I'm in a bit of a frenzy. I don't even know who to pick here. Michael Parsons' defensive effort against Tom Brady on Monday was a big reason why the quarterback is already looking at plans for next season, and I think Micah will be a huge impact this week. The 49ers had the easiest strength of schedule in the NFL this year, and half of their wins came from in a bad division. But ever since Brock Purdy has taken over the 49ers, they have seemed like the better team, but they haven't played anyone good, so I can't really rank them. Like, if this was a S, A, B, C, D tier, I just wouldn't know where to rank them. The 49ers beat the Cowboys last year, so I'm just going to have to go with them again. I think they'll do it again. But honestly, this game could go either way. So remember, if any NFL team wants to sign me, I'm ready and available. Any of these teams that I mentioned in this video, and I'll take any team. Except for the Lions. I would not be going to the Lions. If the Lions called me up, I'm not going. But if any NFL team wants to sign me, I'm ready and available. You feel me? I stay ready. I will carry any team to a championship. You could trust me. They call me Thomas Brady. Tom Brady versus Thomas Brady in the Super Bowl. Could you imagine that? So, my predictions for the divisional round. I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs, Eagles, Bills, and 49ers. And if you care enough and you want to know about my championship game predictions, you could come back next week.